This is the Lab 2 video tutorial supplement. We will be going through the calculator, TI-84, and some basic information that you should know. The first thing you should do if you get a calculator is to turn it on. The button is down here. So we have now turned it on. I'll be moving this up and down. Hopefully we can see it a little bit zoomed in. So a graphing calculator can do basic arithmetic. So we can type 2 plus 3 on our screen, and then if we press enter, it'll give us 5 on the right hand side, just like we expect. And a graphing calculator also knows the order of operations. The order of operations are parentheses and then exponents and then multiplication and division, and then moving from left to right, and addition and subtraction from left to right. So if we type in, for example, 2 plus 3 times 5, it'll know all of the order of operations and simply do it for us. We press enter and we get 17, which is the correct answer. A graphing calculator also understands parentheses. Parentheses are up here. If we type parenthesis 2 plus 3 end parenthesis and then times 5 and then we press enter, we get 5 times 5, which is 25, which is the correct answer. And we can also add a lot of numbers in a row. So let's add 233 plus 47 plus 95 plus 657. And then we want to press enter. We get 1032, but oops! Actually, instead of 233, I wanted to write 232. And so one way we can do that instead of typing in everything all over again is we can press second and then enter to access entry, and it'll copy the last line we wrote, and we can scroll back using the little cursors here. We can go back, we can change this 3 to a 2, and then we can press enter, and in that way we can actually get the correct answer without having to rewrite everything. So moving on, now that we've done some basic arithmetic, we're going to talk about the absolute value. The absolute value of a number is its distance from 0. So notice that both 2 and negative 2 are a distance of 2 from 0. So if we want to actually put absolute value in the calculator, normally in real life you see 2 little lines, but in the calculator we don't have that. So let's find absolute value on the calculator. One way to do it is you can press second and then 0 to access the catalog. And you'll notice the very first thing there is ABS with a parenthesis. That stands for absolute value. We can press enter, and it gives it to us in a little line signal. And for example, if we want to find the absolute value of negative 14, we can type it in there, we can press enter, and we get positive 14, which is what we expect. So now that we've done absolute value, we're going to talk about some deep recall. So we've done over and over again several lines of things, and if we scroll up we can actually see them. But let's say we want to specifically go and edit a really long line of numbers or text all the way up here. If we continuously press second enter for entry, we can actually just keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, and we can edit something from a really long ways away that we did before. We can edit back something and that we typed up to about 15 lines ago. So if I want to clear that, we can clear our screen again. So very often we find items we need in menus on the calculator. So if we press math, which is right here, this will give us the math menu. And if we want to scroll over using the arrows, we want to go to the complex tab. So now that is there, if you scroll down to number 5, you'll actually notice that we see ABS parenthesis again. This is another way to get the absolute value. If we press enter, it gives us the same thing. We can press -14 to find the absolute value of -14. Press enter and it gives us +14 like expected. So there's sometimes multiple ways to access the same thing. And a graphing calculator will draw graphs, but before we draw one, let's use a different menu to make sure that our settings are correct for the type of graph we want. So we are going to press mode, and if we scroll down to this road right here, function should be backlit. That should be the mode that your calculator should be on. The other modes are parametric, polar, and sequential, but we want function to be backlit. In this class, we will talk about functions a lot. So one way to get back to your home screen is you can press second mode to quit. And you can go back to your home screen, you can click clear. And to turn off your calculator, you can press second and then on for off. And this is the end of the first video. I will see you in the second video.